Now let us get back to another major marquee tournament, which is again, trust me, fiercely competitive. The I-League 2024-25. And again, Churchill Brothers on the top, Interkashi at number 2, Dimpo at number 3. And we had just 2 goalless draws in the match week 6. And the 2 marquee clashes were, of course, the Goa Derby and Interkashi taking on Trinity Deccan. Tell me something about the Goa Derby. We had a new ground, Raya ground. But what I felt was the coach from Cyprus took the ground in such aggressive fashion. Somewhat the fierce defending of Dempo was just washed off.
I think this team was well prepared. In fact, before the start of the game, I felt could be a battle between the team that has managed to keep a lot many clean sheets, as well as the team that managed to get too many goals in the competition till the round 5. That was Churchill, who scored the maximum goals. Dempo was the team that managed to keep the most number of clean sheets. But then again, it was just the other side. Churchill just continued with their form of scoring goals. They also managed to keep the clean sheet. I think they have outplayed Dempo in all the departments. They were well prepared. I think the owners were there watching them. So that could also be one reason which inspired the players to give more than 100%. And they knew how important this game was. Both the teams playing 5 away matches, equal on points, goal difference wise, Churchill was on top. But again, to just give them the slightly lead, which is of 3 points, and they were more eager to get those, and definitely they managed to do it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was a brilliant performance, all-round performance by the Churchill brothers. But again, Dempo can fight back because Samir Naik could get back to the drawing board, and he is one who is always, as ever, since he's playing, there's a very, very tough competitor. Never takes it lying down.
Of course, Pallab, I think it's just the lead between the top team and the top 3 teams. It's just the points between 2 points and 3 points. So that's not a big gap between the top 3 or the 4 teams. So I think Dempo just managed to lose the last game. Before that, they lost to Sridhar. They lost to SC Bengaluru. So they still have got a lot more chance, and especially playing on their home ground after the round 6. So this could also give them an added advantage. And I think most likely this year, Dempo is going to play on their home ground, which is a perfect condition for them. They've been practicing there. They know the ground condition very well compared to the other teams. So they should now start winning those matches. But then the break, how much is going to help them? This is going to be a big question mark for most of the teams in this competition.
Well, at times this long break, it helps. At times it really takes the form away from the team, or could be the wind out of the sail. But again, as you mentioned, if we have a holistic view of the entire I-League, the top and the bottom place team are just separated by 8 points. So on any given day, a team performing well can always make a quantum jump.
Of course, and this is why we spoke in the last time that we met here discussing about the round 5. I think this is what the brilliance of this tournament is all about. You never know which team is going to fight for the championship, which team is going to get relegated, maybe on the table after the round 6. SC Bengaluru might be at the bottom of the table, but maybe 1 or 2 wins for them. They can, be one of the contenders to win the I-League. And so anything is possible in this competition. And that is why people and we all love watching the I-League. I don't mean to say that we don't like watching the Indian Super League. Of course, there's a lot of fans who follows the Indian Super League, but I-League is one tournament when the teams, they fight for the championship, as well as the teams that are at the bottom of the table, even they want to survive in this competition. So, and that is what really excites every one of us to watch this interesting matches.
Yeah, of course, the promotion, the relegation makes it much more competitive. Now, tell me one thing, a lot of people are surprised that Mizoram and Manipur, they provide the most number of young budding talents across the clubs in India, even the franchise football, even the other top clubs. But now the 2 sides, they are at the bottom, the Aizawl FC and Shillong Lajong. So what has gone wrong? Both on 6 points.
In fact, I really had high hopes on Shillong Lajong that they would be one of the contenders this season to win the I-League, especially after a very good win in the Durand Cup against East Bengal on their home ground, and then they lost to Northeast United. But then the way they were playing, I really was impressed with the performance, especially with the local lads. But somehow things haven't been going so well with them, except that one big win against Rajasthan United. But on the other side, Aizawl FC, I think they are the team who are the only team, in fact, who are playing with all the local lads. They don't have players, foreign players. They don't have players who are like outside Aizawl. So could be a financial problems, could be that the club is, having some issues here and there. But then,
or maybe just grooming local talent.
Yeah, maybe an opportunity to groom the local talents. So, but we would always want these two teams, especially to be in the top 5.
And Aizawl a one-time champion as well.
Of course, under Khalid Jamil, they've managed to win, and nobody expected them to win. In fact, when you had teams like East Bengal, Mohun Bagan playing, during those days. But definitely you expect big performance, good performance, especially with the teams like Aizawl FC and Shillong Lajong.
But again, Delhi FC has surprised a lot of people, and they are doing well. Your one good friend is there on the bench and taking the field as well, Harmanjot Singh Khabra.
Yeah, it's good to see him. In fact, coach come player, sometimes the experience helps the team a lot. He's been there on the sideline, supporting, motivating the players, encouraging the players, and it's really good to see him on the sidelines. And this is what is important from the experienced players. When you finish your, football career, you get into coaching, and that really helps the coaching staff a lot. Yen Law is also another young coach who is the youngest coach, in fact, to finish his pro license. And these two can, I think, really combine well. One with a lot of experience in his playing days, and another, the youngest pro license coach, Yen Law. The start wasn't so good, but definitely they're bouncing back, and definitely they would also fight for the championship.
What's gone wrong with the last two-time runner-up? We are very, very surprised. The fans are surprised. Shillong Lajong, and also Gokulam Kerala won the championship back-to-back, which is again an I-League record.
Believe me, I had high expectation from these two teams. They would definitely be one of the contenders. This is what I felt. That doesn't mean that, they are not going to be the contenders. After the break, as I said, anything is possible. This might be the teams who might bounce back. The other teams who are on the top of the table, they might drop with their form. So anything is possible. But then we really expect a good performance, especially from Gokulam and Srinidhi. The reason why they have managed to keep most of the players, they scout well. There's a lot of local talent in these two clubs. But unfortunately, they have not been able to display a good brand of football.
Now, as you rightly pointed out, that Shillong Lajong has maintained and kept the foreign players, David Castaneda, they've got Eri Sabia, all the good players are there. And even Gokulam Kerala has also got a very, very strong side. So we of course expect these two sides to excel and do well once after the winter break, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. But then, as I said, this break might help some of the teams, to regain their form, to combine as a team. Because sometimes what happens is the teams, they start the training quite late compared to the other teams. So, Churchill, they happen to get onto the field quite early. The reason why is because the local league starts somewhere in the month of September. So they could prepare, and they could also, gel as a team. So maybe that could be one reason Srinidhi and Gokulam, they might have started the season very late compared to the other teams. But then, as you said, I also feel the same, that Gokulam and Srinidhi, we expect them to come as one of the dark horses in this competition once it resumes in the month of January.
Real Kashmir, back in Kashmir, always shares, or the tigers as you call it. Once out on the plain, they are facing a bit of resistance.
See, the reason what I feel is the weather conditions. Because, it's quite windy, it's quite chilly when you play in Kashmir. And then, these players and most of the players who are there in the Real Kashmir team, they are the ones who are the local lads. They're not from somewhere out of Kashmir. So what I feel is they're not accustomed to play outside Kashmir, and that could be one reason where most of the time we see them struggling. Otherwise, they have an experienced coach like Ishfaq Ahmed, who has been in charge of the India team as well in the under-17. He's been doing quite well last season. This season, he's managed the team well. But last couple of matches hasn't been so good. But hoping for a good turnaround as the league resumes.
And now again, finally, the maestro strikes. Interkashi, down against Trinity Deccan, fought back with 3 brilliant goals, and just think of it, Domi Berlenga, top goal scorer, not even in the squad. Antonio Lopez Hava starting with Mario Barco, and he scored a couple of goals.
So I think this lad is with the team, in fact, for the last 2 seasons. I remember him playing in the Super Cup last season when I watched him closely. He might not look that dangerous, but he knows where to stay as a striker, and that's the quality of the striker. Maybe for different reasons, Berlenga, one of the highly rated footballer, was starting, but then due to some reasons wherein he could not get too many goals, maybe the coach, experienced coach Antonio Habas felt that this match I need to give a start to Marco. So they managed to get a win. In fact, as you said, they were down by a goal, and what a brilliant performance that was. I was watching the game. In fact, at one point of time, I felt either Srinidhi is going to win or at the most Kashi is going to get 1 point. But the way they fought back, they fought so good. It was so good to see them, down by a goal and then winning the match by 3-1. And again, they are in one of the contenders to win the.
Yeah, the combative spirit was very much evident. With 10 men, the last 6 and the added minutes,
Yeah.
Karthik was given a marching order. So, the team could fight back. And Johnny Kauko, again, he had provided 4 assists before. He scored one on the day, and a brilliant one, keeping his cool.
Yes, Johnny Kauko is an experienced footballer who played in the Euros, so high level, was a part of Mohun Bagan winning team. And, in fact, we would all love to see him playing in any of the clubs in the ISL, but then maybe different reasons, maybe sometimes, the coaches, the players, they all will combine well. You see Sergio Lobera, he has got his few players like Murtada Fall or Ahmed Jahu, wherever Lobera goes, they try to follow him. Or they know the style of football. And Johnny Kauko, that could be one reason why he preferred to be with Antonio Habas, because when he joined Mohun Bagan last season, he brought in Johnny Kauko in spite of having an injury problem. So I think they gel well, and that is one reason that having Johnny Kauko in the squad makes them a strong squad. Maybe they just lost 1 game to Churchill Brothers, but believe me, they're going to bounce back.
Now, there's always a huge controversy about this, whether Pep Guardiola or a Carlo Ancelotti winning you a trophy or the players do it. So is it going to be Antonio Lopez Habas or a Dimitris Dimitrov winning the trophy, or is it finally boiling down to the players?
See, I think it's the players who need to deliver on the pitch. Once the coaches finish their training sessions, this is what they're going to form the formation, or he is going to talk about the strategy, in what formation the opponents play. But once you're on the field, it's the players who delivers. It's not the coaches. Okay, sometimes the coaches, the pep talk during the halftime, before the match, really helps a lot to the players. But I think once you're on the field, it's players who has to deliver everything.
But again, the tactical, of course, it helps.
Yeah, this is the reason why I said the match reading is very important. Sometimes why Antonio Habas or Dimitri has been recognized as one of the good coaches is because they have a very good match reading. They read the teams well, and that's how they form the formation. That's how they bring in some changes, either before the start of the game or maybe while the game is on in the second half. So this is why it makes them one of the best coaches, and this is the reason why Antonio Habas or Dimitri, they're recognized as one of the good coaches, and they're the contenders to win the I-League this season.
So again, we have 5 Indian coaches in the I-League, and any one of them could spring a lot of surprise. Samir Naik, it's Yanlo, Ishfaq Ahmed, everybody doing pretty much well. And again, this I-League is really going to be very, very tough come the end and resumption after the winter break. Stay tuned to the I-League 2024-25, and all the matches are being streamed live on the SSEN app. Stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.